see. Cramping. What just happened? Who's had a cramp in here before? Okay, you've never cramped? Oh, I was like, you've never cramped? That is awesome. Yeah.
I can't breathe. That's my issue.
Right. Right.
But I don't usually. It's very, very rare.
Okay. So there are two types of cramps that I kind of recognize. I'm sure there's a medical reasons that very smart people can tell you guys. From my point of view, it's either a nutritional depletion or it is a lack of fitness for the demands of the effort. Never failed when I was a very young triathlete getting into sport. There was a race, first of the years, like March every year. I'd go into it, and between mile 0 on the run and mile 1.5, right calf every time, bam. I could run through it, it'd go away. It's because I wasn't fit enough. I was basically outrunning my fitness. I was running too hard, my body was not prepared for that. So it would cramp. Whereas a nutritional cramp typically doesn't go away, right? Because then you got to start drinking pickle juice, and you got to take in sodium, you got to do all this other stuff. Once you get down there, and you're at the bottom of that barrel, there's no ladder. You're not crawling up a nutritional fit and getting out of there, or a nutritional cramp. So
it comes with experience too, knowing the difference between nutritional cramp and then.
Yep, absolutely. So that's kind of the quick and dirty on sodium. Any specific questions on sodium? So I did an experiment for Memorial Hermann at Ironman Texas 2 years ago in partnership with Base. There were 4 of us that did it. And what happened was, I think this is the year that we raced it. And so what happened was, yeah. So that is a true story. So we signed up for this, and we were all taking Base. There were 2 people taking salt tabs and 2 people taking Base. And 2 of us had really, really, really good days, and 2 of us had really, really bad days. And so what happened was, before the race, they did a blood draw. They did an LT prick, so they took my blood lactate levels. They did blood pressure, heart rate. I peed in a cup, like all this stuff before. And then I did the swim, which is awesome because I had like this cotton ball that was halfway stuck. Afterward, I'm like, that's not smart. So there's pictures of me on the bike with like a cotton ball taped right here. So yeah, so I got out of the swim, and I did it in T1, same test. I did body weight as well and body temperature. And then in T1, so between swim and bike, and then between bike and run, and then at the end. And what happened was, swim and bike, no problem. Between the bike and the run, when I went in the tent, I noticed, because I pay attention, that my pee was like vibrant yellow. I knew right then, like almost a golden yellow, and I knew right then, uh-oh, like something's got to happen. Luckily, I had that knowledge on that day, because then I went on to have an incredible marathon because I immediately jumped back on my nutrition. But what I found out afterward, talking to sports scientists with Memorial Hermann, is when you do anything that's a marathon, Ironman, things like that, or a hard half marathon, your body reacts to it as if you have the flu. So when they got back the actual blood data and the test data, because they were doing a vial of blood each time, when they got it back, they recognized that the exact same way the body responds with these things called interleukins that are in your brain, the way that it responds to the demands of the day is it treats it like you have the flu. So think about that with your nutrition, with your sodium and stuff. Like, you got to make sure you stay up on that, because as soon as you start to slide down, the body's then going to go in freak out mode. And that's when we get the cramping, the GI distress, the throwing up, the bad mental place, things like that. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. And I use that example just to, it's crazy what the body does. Like, it is mind-blowingly brilliant, and yet it's a very generic piece of junk at times.